I started smoking at 13. Both of my parents were smokers. I was very heavily bullied in school, both grade school and high school. And there was a public school across the street, and there was a smoking pit. And because I struggled to make and maintain friendships at my school, I went over to the smoking pit, and that followed me quite a bit, actually. I finished high school and I moved into the working sphere and the college sphere. You go to the smoking pit, there's plenty of people. There's always someone to talk to. There's always many people. And so it is very easy to find friends through that connecting link because, oh, hey, do you want to go for a smoke? It's always a really easy way to open a conversation and go join people. You know, I had this amorphous, I don't want to be a smoker when I'm 50, but, you know, I'm 30. That's 20 years from now. So I had tried, cold turkey. I've tried the patch. I've tried the gum. I do have a son, and like all children, Mom, don't you know smoking is bad? Yeah, I know smoking is bad. Everybody knows smoking is bad. And, habits are hard to change. It's very hard to stop having those things. So I just never really tried super hard to quit. Then COVID hit, and obviously I wasn't going to work, so I started smoking at home again. And I met a boy, and we started dating in June, and he had already set up his appointment with Omega Laser for July, and he went and got it done. And he had only been a smoker for a short time. He had great success. He thought it was the best thing ever. And so he's been smoke-free for 2 years, and I am at 6-ish months, which is the longest I've gone without a cigarette since I was probably 15. I made the appointment. It was very straightforward to make. You go online, you set it up. Made the appointment. It was set for the next week, smoked until I was walking in the door, flicked my cigarette, walked in the door for the treatment. The treatment was so good. It feels a little hokey. They're putting lasers on you. You don't really feel anything. They're just poking all different spots. And, I was like, there's no way this is going to work. Turns out you don't need to believe in it. It still works. So they did all of that. The technician that I had was Stephanie, and she was incredible. She let me ask all kinds of questions. She explained the procedure, explained how I was going to feel. Did she find it was successful? Had she had success with it? And she had also used it as well. And she had found success with it. And she had been a long-term smoker and had found that it had helped. The technician and I discussed that there are going to be struggles, but that Omega Laser was there to assist me immediately when I needed the help. It was really good. Afterwards, I walked out of there and wanted a cigarette, but I don't have the physical cravings. As someone who smoked for so long, your first thought in the morning is, I need a cigarette. Your last thought at night, I need a cigarette. Any sort of chunk of time, I want a cigarette. And after the treatment for about 2 weeks, I have not had physical cravings since that. I'd go 2 hours without thinking about it, and 4 hours and 6 hours. And finally, I got to the point where I stopped thinking about it. But, once a smoker, always a smoker. I had a cigarette 2 weeks ago. It was a Sunday, and I booked my second treatment. You get 3 treatments total. You get 1, and then you have 2 more in case of recidivism. And I was in by the Wednesday. I was right back in with Stephanie. She did it again. It was great. It was no muss, no fuss. I emailed, requested the second, the follow-up appointment. And like I said, I was in by Wednesday, and there was no judgment. There was no, oh my God, I can't believe you're back here. There was no anything. I think there's a lot to be said for having to create new habits and create new coping mechanisms, but they provided documents that really helped with, here's the things that you should do before you come to this treatment to better promote success, such as, if you always have a smoke with your morning coffee, maybe take your coffee in a different place. Or I cleared out my car. There's been no smoking in my car ever since we vacuumed it, detailed it, the whole thing, so it doesn't smell like an ashtray anymore, which is great. The other side of that is none of my clothes smell like an ashtray anymore, which I really appreciate. And I have some skin condition issues that have cleared up now that I'm not pulling nicotine into my system every day. It has been very successful for me. Like I said, 6 months was the longest I've gone. The first month, you count the days. The second month, you count the weeks. The third month, you count the months.